come the Rams now for their first possession. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford. Here's the first carry of the game for Cam Akers. Dancing away at the 35. And he's got room. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles. Gain some additional yardage.
20, 10, and he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Matthew Stafford, 46 yards, and the Rams on just 2 plays have taken the lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. Waddle is going to elect to not bring this out, and instead his guys will begin at the 25-yard line. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Tua sets up to pass it. Completes it to the tight end, Smythe. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Looking to pass. Tua. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now. Off the fake to Akers. Here's Stafford. Flushed out right. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. And finally down at the 32-yard line.
Partner, it's often that man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
And down inside the 15 he goes.
I think the reason that this play is so successful is not just the blocking at the point of attack, but how about the speed at which he takes the handoff? He's in motion already, so he's not coming from a flat start like a running back often is. He's at a full run by the time he gets the football.
He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. They'll try the air now with Stafford. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Stafford going to give this to Akers. And they will get to him at the 7 and stop him short of the 1st down marker. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. Decision made for Sean McVay. They're going to go for it. They snap it to Stafford. And it's caught. And the Rams are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Henderson. And he'll get into end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Darrell Henderson taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Rams are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. From the 10. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Tua and the rest of the Dolphin offense heading back out. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And he will bring it back. It's an interception return for a Rams touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he's able to get it up close to the 35, but hang on here. Penalty marker down. And this one might be going the other way. So holding will scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
Now a dump off here complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
Well, these guys... certainly need something good to go their way, because this first quarter has been something of a disaster for them trying to move the ball. But that completion there maybe can get them focused and moving in the right direction.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. On the handoff, it's Gaskin. And he stopped immediately there. Ernest Jones there for the tackle. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done, because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Well, I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there, as that's batted down and incomplete. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Tua going to throw. Over the middle, he's got Gesicki, the big 6'5" tight end. They get only 4 that time, as that leads us to a 4th down. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember.
Partner, I think they saw something there. I mean, they came from the right side deliberately, and you know there's always a designated guy who goes and blocks it, but it's the rest of his teammates that get him free.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Eluding the pressure right. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A big play there for L.A.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got out. And he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
From the red zone now, Stafford. Flush to his right. And he's got it. That's Kupp for a Ram touchdown. Cooper Kupp there to make the grab. And the Rams are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, I have to admit, I'm scratching my head a little bit here trying to make sense of what I just saw. Number one, huge lead. Just kick the extra point and be done with it. Number two, if you are going to go for two, just line up and go for it from the 2-yard line. Why make it so difficult? That's a long way to go to try and pick up some points.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. The last time they had a little bit of a special teams breakdown. That field goal was blocked.
Yeah, and everything has to be precise in the kicking game. Snap, hold, kick. Obviously the blocking to keep people out. So what you really want to do is get in there and get 6 points and take the pressure off of those guys.
From the 29, Tua. Then he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here in a 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Tua. And the Rams got it. They bring him down. Von Miller doing what he does best with a sack. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. On the return is Powell. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. On 1st down, Stafford here. Escaping the pressure right. He's got the first down, fighting through, and he's got space. And all the way down to the 17-yard line.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
They'll run on 1st down with Akers. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On the move to his left. Caught left side. It's Beckham. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. From the gun, here's Stafford. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Odell Beckham there to make the grab. And the Rams are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. A drive there of just 4 plays. Boy, I guess they're going to keep trying to put the pedal to the metal here. They're going to try an onside kick. And the Dolphins are going to recover. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, you know, and the right approach in going after it. Also may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things and it won't come back and hurt them later.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. This is Gaskin on the carry. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
They get this out wide to Gaskin. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Tua's throw here taken in by Gesicki. And they'll get this down to the 10.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space.
And this is caught by Parker for a Miami touchdown. 10 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Dolphins are able to cut into this lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead drops from 34 down to 27. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Taken at the goal line. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Stafford finding some room at midfield. And all the way down to the 41-yard line. Not only another first down, that also puts him over 100 yards rushing.
That's not something you see very often in the NFL. We see it more in college. But I think with more of the melding of the college game with quarterbacks, we'll see this a little bit more often in the future.
Touchdown, Allen! 41 yards for Cam Akers. And the Rams just continue to pour it on.
Okay, we need to double check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats. But what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice, healthy lead.
Well, after the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click.
And right
I just said clicker.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down, good luck. He's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
Waddle is going to elect to not bring this out, and instead his guys will begin at the 25-yard line. So now here come the Dolphins. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It's the All-Pro Von Miller who came in to belt him behind the line. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Open man is Waddle, complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Here's Tua. Tua hit, and the ball is out. defensively lucky they were able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. One, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But two, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Rams are going to start this drive in great field position as they take over. On 1st down, Akers. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 102 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this 1st half. They'll fake it. Now Stafford steps away to his left. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively. And it'll bring up 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, here's a give to Akers. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Stafford on 3rd down. Touchdown, Rams. Make that now 3 first-half touchdown passes for Matthew Stafford. And the Rams have taken a 6-touchdown lead. Now he's having a nice little 1st half here, partner.
And it's a 1st half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
And he rifles one incomplete. So unable to throw it in for... From the 2, let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory.
Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. And some room to maneuver. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And can you believe this? It's recovered in the end zone by the defense. So after all that, it's not a touchdown, it's a turnover. And the ball's going to come out to the 20. That pick 6 extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the 1st half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the 3rd quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the 2nd half.
After the interception, here's Stafford. Flushed out right. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. And they turn the pick 6 into a pick 8 with that 2-point conversion.
I love how you upset. That is outstanding right there. What a big-time play. Big switch in how this game was going, and then they capitalized with a little bit on top.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. And out come the Dolphins now. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up. But you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now Tua. This will be caught. It's Waddle. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
To throw again on 2nd down. Tua. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. And again, it's Tagovailoa. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Brian Flores learned under the master. He's going to go on 4th down. They'll try and run for it, and he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down, and the Rams are going to take possession of the turnover on downs. On 1st down, it's Stafford. Forced out to his left. He completes it to Beckham, and they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A big play that time through the air. 30 yards.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this 3rd quarter. This one taken just inside the 10. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot. Pretty unlikely, but you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Tua. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Here's Gaskin. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They'll run now with Gaskin. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. He'll drop to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you had. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's Michael Palardy now as he's on to punt for Miami. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. Stafford on 1st down. Steps away. It's caught. Beckham. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Here's a run with Akers on second down. And he's got some space here. And he will finally be taken out of bounds. 164 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
Akers going to be stopped before he can get moving forward as he'll lose a couple back to the 5-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Back to throw. Stafford. Dancing to his left. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
Man, we see a lot of quarterbacks try and do this. They get out of the pocket, they get in trouble, and they try and force the ball into their star receiver to make a play, sometimes whether he's open or not. And I think this time, it was definitely an or not.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Another run with Gaskin. Tough running, but not a lot to show for it. They stop him shy of the 25. 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Palardy now on to punt as he sends this one away. Here's Powell on the return. Gets around him. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. So good field position for the Rams as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Flush to his right. He'll dump this off to Akers. Oh, and now some space to operate. Touchdown, LA! Cam Akers. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Rams have got it on cruise control.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes, carving them up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone.
Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. Size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked off folks on the other sideline now.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Gaskin again on 2nd down. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. They're going to look to throw. And the Rams got it. They bring him down. Von Miller able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Here's Michael Palardy now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Looking up into the roof, and he muffs it. It's loose. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atoned for his sin, and he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. A gain of 6 there on 1st. To throw again on second down. Stafford. Now a leaping catch. He's got it. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third-quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up.
On second down, Akers. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
178 yards rushing for him now as this sensational afternoon continues. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because it nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
Oh, good move. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Here's Stafford. He'll buy some time right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
He's got it. It's Higbee. Touchdown, Rams. Matthew Stafford does it again. 5 touchdown passes. And the Rams just continue to pour it on. Stafford's going to try and throw for it. And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack. And they fail on the try for 2.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit. But going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down.
Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, finding his way into the backfield. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Throwing on 2nd and long.
Tua, thrown to Parker, complete on the slant.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. Through the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long. Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Tua now on 1st down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. And his throw here's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And the throw there going to be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team.
And it looked like he got the feet down, did he? Yes, it's a catch. A big play there for L.A.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure's good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
Man, 206 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
So 3 plays, already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. Here's Stafford.
And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big...
And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown.
Cam Akers.
A 10-yard touchdown run. And the Rams have got it on cruise control. They'll try and throw for it. Rolling to his left. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
On 2nd and 10, Tua toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now back to throw.
That's going to be caught by Waddle.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. Yet another mistake after the interception there. Gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter.
Here's Akers.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
The Rams on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14.
They'll run out of the gun with Akers.
Yeah, he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short.
And he's got it. That's Kupp for a Ram touchdown.
Cooper Kupp,
his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Rams just continue to pour it on. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the backflip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there. And sometimes has a way of catching up with you.
and they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out. Totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run it.
And the Rams got it. They bring him down. Von Miller able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his third sack of the afternoon.
So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long.
And throw right side complete to Parker. And, a little spin cycle. Room to run now. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays.
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Ernest Jones.
And he will bring it back. It's an interception return for a Rams touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
The pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down.
Leonard Floyd picks up his second sack of the afternoon. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Throwing on 2nd and long. Tua hit, and the ball is out. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown. Now the Rams bring the offense back out here to go for 2. Following the fumble recovery, Stafford escaping the pressure right. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. So a big play there. Not only the fumble return for the touchdown, then they get the 2-point try. And, you know, for the defense, though, they were just over there sitting on the field. They had to rush out to try to defend that.
You know, it's funny. They actually practice situations that they call sudden change when the team turns it over. I'll guarantee you no one practices a fumble return for a touchdown like that, and now someone goes for 2. Really good strategy by them putting them in that situation.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down. In trouble, and he's taken down. Leonard Floyd getting him once again his third sack of the afternoon.
Back quite a ways here, facing 2nd and 19.
Another try after the first down sack.
Tua.
They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. Tua sets up to pass it. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. They'll run on first down. Akers. And some room to work. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, there's just about a minute left in this game, and they're still taking it to the end zone. And you know they could have taken a knee there, but they decided to play this one all the way out. And I think their philosophy is, we're going to give you everything we've got. If we just go ahead and take a knee now, we're actually showing you disrespect that way, like taking pity on you. They're not about to do that to their opponent.
And the formula there on the two-point try to go 5 wide, not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
Waddle is going to elect to not bring this out, and instead his guys will begin at the 25-yard line.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Back to throw here. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Von Miller, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. One final try for Tagovailoa. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Los Angeles, so long, everybody.